Okay, it's that time again. Bit more of an update for this month. You can see there's some big changes in this messy pile. So, since last month, I managed to procure this, a second 12 volt 100 amp hour gel battery. As you can see, it's by its wonderful name, it is Kick-Ass. In Australia, unlike the US, our prices are much higher, so I was able to snavel that one as one of the cheapest I've found online, $270 plus postage. So, for a bit more of an overview of what we've got here, we've got the two 100 amp hour gel batteries connected. I have a isolation 50 amp fuse there that'll separate them if something goes wrong. Additionally, this one here you see, that's a 50 amp breaker, resettable. That feeds straight into the charge controller, which you can't see it, but down here the 100 watt solar panels come in through this little hole here and into here, which then feeds the batteries, and then the loads come off to my great 12 block fuse panel here, which just has the normal blade fuses in it. In the back I've installed a 12 volt lighter socket, which at the moment runs a 12 volt fan, and I'm a bit of a nerd, I love to always know what's going on. So because I'm here with the lights on at the moment, you can see I'm drawing just under an amp, and we're sitting at 12.93-ish volts, which equates to about 13.2. It's just the way it reads. I know what the battery is reading. I checked it with a multimeter. And you can see the in is off. That's because it's 8 o'clock or 8 PM here, twilight, and there's nothing coming in from the panels. You can see I'm just running the two LEDs here, which draw less than 2 amps, I think. It was even less than a whole amp. And my new toy this month, right here, is my new 1000 watt inverter, which I haven't installed yet. Again, unlike US where this would be just over $100 or so, I was able to pick it up on special just in time for Christmas for $199, and it's a pure sine wave inverter, and I only envisage myself using it a few times. It's mainly for laptop charging, or if we're away for a bit, maybe a cocktail blender or something similar. And I'm not sure if you can see at the other end here, which I'll jump into the van while I've got the mattresses down, and I'll give you a bit of a look up here. It's a bit messy because I flipped the mattresses off, but at the moment, most people say, how do you cook and things like this? Well, what you see in front of you is the only part of the kitchen we have inside, and that is a 20-litre water storage with a manual hand pump inside, and I just give that a good couple of pumps, and saves myself or Frankie trying to lift 20 kilos just to pour water into the kettle. And if you don't get too sick here, I'll try and flip this around and film down here. This is a switch panel. If I can get some more light down there for you. So that's got 4 gang switches, 2 USBs, USB 1s, so they're quite, it's less than an amp, so it's not enough to charge much. There's a volt meter, which you can see the screen on. Below that is 2 cigarette sockets, and I have a 2 amp cigarette charger in there at the moment. On this side, I have a 1 cigarette with 5 gang switch, and that's we just use that to control the fridge and any of the other front electrics here. Another great thing that we have found today, only today, so if you've followed my other posts, you've noticed that our the controls for the front of our vans are cooling and heating. They are basically useless. They do not work. I've stripped the cogs inside, and it's going to cost me about $700 to replace them. They are locked on cool at the moment, which is fine. We're approaching the Australian summer. You have no idea how excited I am to have found what that plus button. I personally thought it was the overdrive for the automatic gearbox. It is actually the air conditioning button. You have honestly no idea what this means for us in Australia when we're facing 40-degree days and 35-degree regular days while driving. So I look forward to giving this a test over summer and getting back to you.